Liquid do what we knew they could, but we weren't too sure if it was even going to be possible against the likes of FURIA. FURIA may have picked Vertigo, but it was Liquid this time around that showed us what they could do and showed us why we can never count them out of these type of games. It's something we were discussing on the panel in great detail, but we were very heavily favored towards FURIA. Looking at this first map though, Liquid, they're back in action. Maybe that Chaos game served as a bit of a wake-up call, guys.
I hope so. I hope it served as a wake-up call. I think Liquid was looking much better in this fashion. I think Twist, the guy we interviewed after that game, definitely turned up in this one, sitting at was it 28 frags and 12 deaths plus 16, right? He had an immense game. I talked about Elise. I said that Elise has to play well in order for Liquid to match the individual skill of FURIA. He wasn't necessarily bad, but he wasn't necessarily good either. So I think Liquid as a team turned up today, and that's the Liquid, as you pointed out, Christine, as well. We do know them to be some of the best players in the world. The firepower is definitely there. The shots are hitting at the moment. So when they play like this, Liquid are definitely a threat to FURIA.
Definitely so. And I mean, with FURIA's playstyle, we constantly talked about how they embrace the aggression coming out of Art and the individuals like Henny, and it absolutely works for them. But the thing is when a team like Liquid comes up, shows up, and they're prepared for it, and they understand the aggression that's coming their way, then they've got an answer for it. And that's when you start to see FURIA struggle a little bit. The layers that they add to their strat book, it's not quite as deep. And so they very much heavily depend on Art's success, Henny's success. And although Henny was popping off and hitting his shots, in the end, it wasn't quite enough.
Well, Potter, I believe you've got something that you wanted to pick out and for us to take a deeper look at here. So what have you got for us this time?
Yeah, you know, I wanted to point out this anti-eco round that Liquid actually end up winning for two reasons. One, because Liquid, they're so cool. I can't believe they've actually pulled this off, just diffusing through the smoke with 4 FURIA members alive. You don't get to see this often, but for some reason, Vertigo, you do kind of see it often. But also, I wanted to highlight Art here. He gets picked off by pushing CT spawn with that MAC-10, and once again, I love the aggression coming out of Art. I love the spacing that he provides, but his teammates were so far behind him with the bomb all the way down A ramp. They weren't even into the site yet. He's got to have a little bit more discipline. He's got to have a bigger game plan in mind to allow his teammates to actually plant the bomb, be alive in the end of the round for some sort of a post-plant position. And it just kind of falls through there. And Liquid, they actually end up winning that anti-eco round as FURIA are starting to try to posture some sort of a comeback.
Now, we don't have long here, so I want this real quick from you guys, starting with Pimp. Nuke, last time around these two teams played on it, it was Liquid's win. Do we see it happening in a 2-0 coming their way?
The way Liquid played on Vertigo, I find some sort of belief in that Liquid can potentially take this 2-0. I still need to see FURIA show up today, and if they do that, I believe we're going to have a third map on our hands.
Potter, what do you reckon?
I think FURIA make this comeback here happen.
Okay. So Potter thinks it's going to a third. We're about to go into Nuke, but before that, we're going to hit a quick break. And when you come back, we'll be back with Scrawny and Lauders to see the game unfold.
Feel so close, but the wind is bringing me back home. One way down, falling faster than the speed of sound. Breathing out as the moment's crashing to the ground. I'm ready to fall. Crashing to the ground. ready to fall. 'Cause I know you'll pull me up. 'Cause I know you'll pull me up. So catch me and don't let go. Now I feel invincible. And I know that I'm risking it all. And we're just gonna fall. Ready to fall. 'Cause I know you'll pull me up. 'Cause I know you'll pull me up. I'm ready to fall. 'Cause I know you'll pull me up. 'Cause I know you'll pull me up.
We are back, folks, and we are getting ready for map 2 here between, of course, FURIA and Team Liquid. We're shifting the attention onto Nuke, Mohan. We had a very exciting first map, and I'd say a result that not many people would have expected considering what had been recent form.
Yes. Now, we did highlight, and I do want to say I thought Liquid, you know, if they played at the level of their opponents and their core is playing well, it's not a totally unexpected result in my eyes. I think it is fair to be a bit concerned about how good Liquid will play on any given day these days. But after watching FURIA, wasn't exactly that impressed with their Vertigo. So I think it worked out the way that I thought it would play out, at least on that map. Now we move to Nuke. I have questions about will the performance continue? Because here's another psychological issue for Liquid. When they played against Chaos, they had an amazing first map and reinforced everyone's understanding that, well, they'll at least beat Chaos. And then they went on to lose in a pretty bad fashion and then lose a very close map to follow that, and then cited them defeating themselves just like they did in the pregame. And so that's in their minds right now. We know that. It's not a secret. And it's going to be on them to show us, you know, can they overcome that?
I think what helps them, of course, is that, like, yes, we had this discussion on the analyst desk before the game went live that the home territory, the maps, the just pool in general for Liquid is kind of in question. But we can't forget that towards the end of 2019, when Liquid were at their best, when Liquid were just side by side with Astralis, always trying to get that final win, you know, their hardest opponent, their kryptonite at the time, they started to try and implement Nuke as that third map in the series between Astralis. You know, we'd always get the same first two maps, and then the third map was always the question. Well, if you were confident enough at one point to be taking on a team like Astralis on Nuke, then why wouldn't you be at least a little more comfortable here today versus FURIA? I mean, I'm not going to write off FURIA's Nuke play. I don't think that there are any slouches on this by any means, but I would hope that Team Liquid should be able to just walk into this second map, use the individual powers that we just saw. I mean, damn, Twist, he went huge. He nullified, I would argue, both Vinny and Art. His opening duels versus them respectively, the kill count was something like 8-1 versus Vinny and 7-2 versus Art. And those are two pieces for FURIA that were supposed to succeed on Vertigo. So if he comes into this and we don't see a steep fall off like we did versus Chaos, because I think that's a really good point you bring up, we never saw that fall happening and we could possibly be caught off guard again. But Twist showed up to play, and that's a next level Twist that I don't think is going to go anywhere here on map 2.
Yeah, and go take a look at his recent stats. He's shown us no different on most of the maps in recent memory, even though his like overall stat line hasn't caught up quite yet. He's definitely back in form, so that's a great sign. And he plays a lot of high frag positions, so he's going to be a key component in all of Liquid's wins and losses. And, you know, they've been skinned alive and dragged through a beach of salt on Nuke when it comes to playing against top teams. It's not an easy map to play, and it's not a map that you can take into a veto versus a team like Astralis, who pointed out, and just like win every time. It just won't happen. So with that in mind, you know, Liquid definitely do have some very, very valuable experience versus the top teams when it comes to preparing for those matches, as well as playing them live. And it's certainly going to have an impact on the game right now. And also, Art had some kind of massive map agnostic attributes in playing extremely aggressively on the T side that made you wonder, after watching that last map, if he's going to have a negative stat line, like, you know, that he was 9-20 last game, is that going to be a problem for FURIA when they jump onto their T side?
Time will tell, my friends, but the time has come. Without further ado, we jump into the pistol of map 2. Of course, Liquid on the T side. Vinny sporting them dual Berettas yet again. Always exciting scenes. Pulling a page out of Nitro's book. But aggressive stance here from the CTs. I mean, damn, dude. They're trying to pop them through Hut, through Squeaky, and peeking down ramp. But they find an exit route here, Team Liquid. They're going to try to charge headstrong at ramp. Art, only man left here with Henny. They're both about to fall, but Henny takes 2 with him. That's huge. And he has a chance at a third, but Twist bests him. A 1v2 clutch attempt for Yuri in the pistol.
Such an important piece of the puzzle there, because he denies anyone from going heaven, whereas now it's, yeah, Yuri has already dropped at the expectation that Henny was going to hold down ramp. So Liquid make a great call here, flying up the ladder.
Let's see, at least he's already out from the vent. Won't have to fumble up the ladder to try and get the retake here, but Ali's just jump spotting through the crack of the silo. Oh, damn. And he gets dropped by the one tap. Team Liquid starting a T side on Nuke with a pistol. That has got to feel good.
Virtually everyone contributes. They look super sharp that whole round. FURIA applied tons of pressure, just as we know that they're going to. And I'm sure Liquid have realized that they're going to do that as well. So this is one of those rounds that's kind of 50-50 in that regard. But it's the aim that comes out on the top for Team Liquid. And I think that just bodes well for their confidence more than anything else. So now we'll see if FURIA can do anything sneaky here on the second round with a scout and a handful of smoke grenades.
Just a final anecdote with the map as well. I mean, you know, we talk about how the most recent series between these two teams have favored FURIA. Never has that included a map win on Nuke in those matchups. So the last 2 BO3s, Nuke was not played, but the BO3s before those, Nuke was always Liquid's. If they've had something of a consistency, it's here and now.
True. So, ingredients for the 2-0 then, potentially.
Yeah.
If there is ever going to be a situation with the veto.
I'm not saying we put a
You're
fork
not calling
in
it too early. Never count your chickens before they hatch unless they're named FURIA, right? Was that
right? Yeah. Yeah. A not so wise man once said something like that. Stewie's getting curious here through squeaky doors. It's going to be combined with a nice little set piece through the vents. Flushes out anyone who would be standing Hut, but the problem is actually above it. Stewie, he's going to die to Naf. Yeah, Naf lines up the kill and gets Yuri as well, so I suppose that's just the price you pay. 1 for 1. Eye for eye.
Yeah, Naf's got to get his 3 kills around somehow, so.
Uh-oh. Good thing Twist was there to trade that one. We saw Nafly playing with his flashbangs, and suddenly it's a 3v2. Vinny with a deagle had a chance, and Case Dorado almost finding players by surprise. Great damage here from FURIA in the eco. 2 frags and 3 kills that were almost theirs. Yeah, you got to do it to him. I would trade Stewie's knees for a kill versus Yuri too.
We always kind of glide past these situations where you're so close to getting that 3rd kill, but this early into the game, keeping the economy honest rests on getting that 3rd kill in the 2nd round on the buy-up. So I think that's the difference between a success and a pretty okay round. 2 kills is not bad, but 3 kills would have made an enormous difference here for FURIA, and they were super close to getting it.
Big opening for Stu. Looking to make quick work of the pistol players. No problems so far for Liquid. It's always a really rewarding feeling on the T side of Nuke to win pistol and start 3-0.
Yeah, especially back in 2014 when 14-1 halves were the only way you were going to win after a CT side. So, but no matter what, it definitely just takes the pressure off. And even if only irrationally, it gives you some level of confidence that makes you feel better about moving into the first rifle rounds.
Caserado makes the USP work. slips the kill versus Stewie, but then Elige just crab walking into him. Nitro starting to clear out the A-bomb site. They do get peppered, but oh boy, Henny still above. That's an easy frag, supposed to be, versus the bomb plant. Not gonna happen the way he'd imagined, not going to happen the way we'd all think. So 3-0 is still where we end up, and only one frag versus Liquid that round.
I wouldn't have shot any slower than that. I think it's okay that he tried to go for the spam. He only needed one more lucky bullet, and they all went astray. So I'm very sympathetic. Have you noticed that with people who miss a lot of shots? We saw KNG miss a whole mag of the Deagle.
Sure.
I think, yeah, but maybe
I think it's because we can
all the time. But.
Exactly. We relate with missing shots.
Yeah. Very relatable moment there. Very humanizing moment for Henny.
Big fast gun round though. We've already got the doors swung open. We got the rifles firing off. Hell, we've got Vinny inside of the hut. Playmaker position, sees the shoulder, slides into the first frag. Tries to fall back, and Twist is having none of that. Awesome wallbang kill there to get back into the 4v4.
Yeah, really an amazing trade. I mean, it just completely changes the makeup of the rounds. Rotations don't change for the meantime, but now it means that Liquid, anything they throw can really pull people back and forth. This FURIA being 4-4 favors the T's.
Art's fully blind. Twist with another couple kills. This is huge. He is so easily slicing through this defense, it seems. And what's huge as well is, I mean, again, we're going to go back in the history books a little bit, but to those Nuke games that I had earlier referenced, you know, at the top of the scoreboard, we consistently find both Twists, Naf, and sometimes Elige. Elige is, you know, that third piece of the puzzle. And if all these members of Liquid start activating, God knows that FURIA have their hands full.
Yeah, it's definitely the idea of a core. You know, one guy doing a lot of the calling, one guy who really is kind of a support player, if only in a loose sense. Almost everyone has to frag to some extent, but it's more of a baseline ADR of like 60 to 70 for those two players, and then everybody else somewhere around 80 or above, and you've got a winning combination, and that comes from Twist, Elige, and Nafly. Twist getting activated there by a supporting flash from Nitro. Nets him 2 kills, as you saw on that kill feed, after also getting that first very important trade on Vinny in the wallbang. Probably the catalyst for them taking the A site in the first place.
I think it's great for Twist to be currently 8-0 and coming off of the back of a great performance on Vertigo. You know, if any one individual could be enough to win a series, seems like Twist may be that tonight, but good night, Elige. Takes a scout shot between the eyes. And we have ourselves an interesting 5v4 to hang on to here. Henny's already aggressive inside of Hut. He hopes that someone walks forward, but Stewie's already been caught by this. So he tries to soften him with the grenade, and it does 0 damage.
0 damage. I feel like that landed close enough, but went outside the wall.
Must have bounced back through the second door.
Update again, please, Valve.
Yeah, we need another one. Molotov to the back of the vent. That's going to be perfect to flush out Vinny, but Stewie doesn't seem prepared for it. And now watch, Henny, he gets one corner closer inside of Hut. He's going to find 2 players turned if Nitro hadn't stopped that kill right then, right now. KS Dorado back at bat, trying to line up these shots, but he only gets the single. Still, it's a 2 versus 2, and Yuri is the 3rd player with a deagle to walk through that Hut. He hasn't been able to catch the T's, however, because they so quickly moved to B. But damn, that was a close one.
Oh my God, is Art okay? Yeah, he's not moved at all. He was standing above the ladder knowing they could come down the ramp, so I think he might be in a awkward
Frozen in
situation, might be lagged out, or yeah, frozen in fear. That's a bit rough. They had the scout to work with. They could maybe just hang on to that for the next round, but not a lot of reason here for Yuri to try to go for this. Liquid are probably assuming they're trying this. That's what I'd be thinking if I'm Liquid. What's Art working on right now? Is he literally sitting on the bomb in a spot that we don't know?
Well, now he's gone, so
he's gone, yeah.
They'll figure that one out. Unfortunate situation, especially since, you know, it happens mid-round. We had already had some success here for FURIA. But you have to ask yourself, would you rather it happen now in a tempting eco, or once you're in the middle of your gun rounds later on in the half.
I mean, we've all seen horrific lag outs. You know, after thousands of hours of watching professional Counter-Strike, there's definitely been worse situations. 14-14s, 1v1s. I mean, this is on the lower end of the spectrum for impactful deaths or lag outs. But yeah, there was definitely a chance there. But such is life, really. Such is life. 5-0 for Team Liquid. Looks like Art's already back into the action.
Wow, right back into the action.
Very much so.
Hot damn, trying to really pinch into lobby.
Okay.
Those players had grenades and everything too, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Art didn't because he still has so much money, but...
Curious,
never
one of
given
those
the
teams,
chance.
huh? I feel like they've changed a lot since I've last watched them. But I mean, they've always been an aggressive roster, but it feels like they're reaching new paradigms now. And it's just like, it feels like when it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, it's really bad. Because again, the CP side is so expensive. Holy moly, the collateral. 1v1 now for Nitro, and he knows where Yuri is. So this should be a free plant. And you know what? It should be a free win. That's how much I'm going to call it. If Nitro plays this perfectly. Let's see what his what strategy he decides to employ.
Well, let's see what he's got to work with. Molotov, flashbang, bomb plant down. Decides to go towards ramp. I like it. Gives him the chance to peek either side. Molotov for Yuri, though. That's a curious addition to the situation. Could burn off one of the two options. Flashbangs as well, but he doesn't have the kit. And with 10 HP, I mean, you really struggle to see a world where this is going to happen. He mollies the dark corner because that could have been an easy duel. But yeah, that one right there from Nitro. The insurance policy on the bomb, 6-0 for Team Liquid, but hot damn, Henny. He almost got a 3-man collateral kill that would have outright won the round. He misses Nitro, doesn't land the follow-up shot, which was his second chance to kill him, and the old IGL of Team Liquid is able to clutch the round.
Really rough start there with a double push at ramp, and yeah, before I could even figure out where Art was, he was already in their lobby, so it's almost Henny saving the situation. There's definitely shades of Fnatic on this team, for good or bad, but it looks like Liquid are just very comfortable in that zone. This animosity zone, constant pressure.
Again, stylistically, that's why it's fun to watch these teams. You know, I think that Team Liquid, although they don't employ the FURIA style of aggression themselves outright, they're down to dance with it. They can keep up the pace. Ooh. However, we've still got skill on FURIA, of course. I love that Art just consistently tries to hammer up that ramp. This time he does pick one off the back of lobby. Here's a crucial duel from Yuri outdoors. That would have opened routes for Liquid had the cross been free. Instead, it's Stewie and Twist left over 2v4. Smoke blocks off Mini. Stewie's going to turn his head and try to clear the site. They're dodging the grenades up from the heavens, so they're just going to evacuate the bomb site, trudge down towards the B, and hopefully get off with a plant.
Yeah, 3 plants nice. Plus they got the nades to use on the ramp. Wow, that's a first kill. And you know what? They didn't rush the plant. It's Twist who had it, hold it in the corner. Twist and Stewie both get a kill, in fact. 2v2, and they've even got an HE left over.
Twist has a smoke grenade to play around. That gives him, just a moment of safety. Stewie, 8 health. Bombs planted on the far back right corner of the site. He could peek the double doors if he wants to duel for it, but they molly him. And now he has to either go to the doors or peek out through the window, but the defuse is being stuck and Stewie's not going to check it. It's over. Furia find themselves on the board. They lose a player in the end. But if you think about it, of all positions you could be in, this is atrocious. Furia, they finally break through. However, only one survivor.
One survivor. Yeah, they at least get the loss bonus, right? That's racked up, but
of course,
it is true. And for the amount of kills that went down in a 2v4 situation, especially with Stewie getting so low before the action even started, Twist has 100% headshot ratio right now and the most kills in the server. Wow, that's nuts, man. Keep your crosshairs high, folks. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, who said Scream left CSGO? 6-1, and just as you mentioned, Liquid don't have much to be afraid of, to be honest. They've just got to play like prophylactic CS, wait out the first fight, just like defense, like preventative. Like they wait out the attack, they get a push in the first 20 seconds, and Furia are going to give it to them most of the time, and they still have lots of time left on the clock to do whatever they want.
Wow. Talking of aggression, we'd seen it at a Furia, but a Liege Just tries to charge straight out Squeaky Door. Burns to a crisp with a few holes in him. Now we're going to watch Team Liquid try to slow this down, try and play picks elsewhere. Twists with eyes real high. Decides to fall off silo.
It's going to be a hard one to get back. You know, throwing in a Squeaky drop is something that's more than common. You know, championed by Snacks originally, something that's done so much on Astralis. Abusing Squeaky is, aside from outside, the most common thing to do in a T-side round on Nuke for the top teams.
Big one from Art. Not a very commonly played angle, and so to see it work out is awesome. Not if you're cheering for Liquid, of course. Hitting a bit of a brick wall outdoors. And a little bit more damage as well. So here's Naf. Obviously had a player in front of him. Like a parasite. Was attached to the back of Henny. Curiously enough, this opens a route towards ramp. They're going to drop downwards, and even once they get here, there's no real contest to stop them. Sure, double doors could swing wide, but that is an individual duel for Art. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a fool. I was tricked. There was a man back bomb site. Pops up, knocks him down. Furia, they were fine that entire time.
Yeah, and Art went from outside holding it down to realize, well, I've got no more targets out here. I'm quite bored. Maybe I'll make a quick rotation into a spot and just assume they might go into lower. Swings the door open, kills Naf. And Furia put up the 2 in a row. Very well done. Much needed. And obviously... Oh, wow! I wonder if that's a pre-fire. He must not have been able to see that much of Twist. That's pretty beautiful.
Get that one queued to the highlight reel. Accidental jump. Accidental jump. It makes us mouse wheelers look bad, man.
You do hate to see it, but it is the manufacturer's fault. Please fix your scroll wheel. So then it got stuck between ticks. It's extremely annoying. Don, I don't want to hear a word about this.
I told the Don yesterday that I would sell you to him for 10,000 followers.
10,000? It's not even that many. I thought it'd be worth more than that.
You are, but desperate times for desperate measures.
Huh.
Or, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. You're desperate.
Team Liquid, not so much, because they started off, of course, with such a massive advantage in the score.
Yeah. They've gone from Liquid to Gooey. Now they're Team Gooey. They're not exactly flowing.
But at a moment's notice, could very well be, because, I mean, they've certainly had openings in these last 2 rounds, even despite Furia picking them up. Here we have it. Post plant created. Vinny, he's isolated inside the vent. One of the toughest spots to get out of, and especially once you start losing teammates. He throws his flashbang to force the issue. Flies outwards. Nope. Hey. Dives and jukes and dies. There we have it. Another one for Liquid as they cool off Furia once they've won 2.
It's really difficult to defend against Squeaky if you're the lone man on A, and if you're playing some kind of flex defense, Furia are going to have someone that comes up in heaven that's also knockout line of sight on the Squeaky lurk. So if it's well timed, which is always a slight risk because you don't know who's flowing in between watching it and going back to another position, that's, you know, it's going to be hard to stop because you get out on the site. Oh, what a spray! Kills
and
the side.
Shotgun, insult to injury. Nitro's going to look to clamber back into it, though. That's a crucial 2K from him. Puts us right back into the even keel. And with Naf being patiently tucked in this corner, Case Dorado might walk into this. He could fall for the trap. He kind of clears it still. Down they both go. That's a full house between Nitro and Naf. 3 and 2 frags apiece. Doing all the work for Team Liquid to keep them in a strong 6-round lead. 8-2.
Not even mechanically keeping up right now, man. Yuri just did so much freaking damage into that Squeaky with the spray. It was the perfect play and only getting 1 kill, but then doing so much more. And then his teammate gets a mag 7 kill upstairs and then they still lose. That's not a good sign. That seemed like it was wrapped up 100%.
How quickly things can turn, though. Hello, Art. Through the smoke. It's going to be a feels good opening frag, but it feels bad when he remembers, of course, that his team just have this scout and shotgun to work with. He fully exposes himself to Stewie. Good trade frag back, so the only weapon rolling is Vinny on the mag. Sees the gun barrel. Yeah, that's a dangerous game to play.
Vinny does love going to Value Village. He is very comfortable with all weapons.
One of those jack of all trades.
Indeed.
And I respect those sorts of players.
Yeah, me too. I think, yeah, things can get very samey. People don't explore options, and that's why the Creed was so undiscovered for so long. There's only a few people that were willing to try it.
Vinny being one of them.
Vinny was one of them, yeah. Let's see that he's kind of got that hut angle in a stalemate. No one wants to peek that on a round like this, and he can stay there even if they go upstairs. Oh, he's actually going to push it all the way through, in fact. So that's something, but yeah,
Gets the one.
most they can get, yeah.
Ah, the old flying ladder deagle shot.
It's like the Hungry Hippo strat. You go up the ladder, snap off a deagle shot, fall back.
Try and get your head back in before it's smacked right off. Stewie, of course, he drops. He doesn't want anything more to do with that. Twist gives cover outdoors. And oh boy, Team Liquid, a phenomenal T side, really starting to piece itself together. They're one round away from double digits, and they still have more than one to go.
Yeah, I think FURIA are overdue for a round. They look like they could win some. But man, the style of CT side that they play, they just do not have any credence for their economy. And I feel like that's so risky because it just means that if you don't streak, you lose badly.
If I may draw a similarity and get your thoughts on it, I feel like we're back watching the CT side of Vertigo yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, they're trying something aggressive. They're doing lobby crunches like 3-4 rounds in a row. Sometimes they don't get any kills. You know, if you play a slow round, you can whittle down the numbers. It's definitely not as sexy, but you can at least make sure you can save in certain situations. That almost never. It's like round by elimination almost every single time for FURIA. And Nuke is a map where you need the full utility belts and your ops.
Here we go. Their attempts dwindling. Their skill not so much. They're going to get themselves postured outside. Art, one of two oppers in this round. Henny has the other. That wall of smokes outside is a little bit distracting, and there's the Twist kill that starts this round off. Crucial kill at that. Really gives the space to the T's outside. Caserado has to come over and try to plug the hole. But I love the patience here from Team Liquid. Twist, he's just going to crouch behind the vent and hold.
And
ooh,
wait for some rotations, yeah. And he's no stranger to this angle.
Nap, one kill. Yuri trades. Henny's going to be looking for a little bit of cover here as the grenades come flying forward, but it's Caserado with the big one. A two-piece outdoors to leave Nap in the clutch. He's shut down, and FURIA with a third round now. Still trailing by 6, but at least something to show for here at the end of the half.
I think it's a well-deserved upper hold round that they finally get. I honestly, every time, it's hard to follow all of the kills that are happening, and it feels like as soon as one is the linchpin, you know, the string of the ball of yarn starts to fall apart and kills go down all over the place. They just start peaking very aggressively for the trades, but FURIA just have somehow, even after getting the opening kill, lost all of the following trades, you know, 2-1 most of the time, and at least this time it doesn't go that way. So I definitely do feel like Liquid are also playing a very caution to the wind brand of CS right now, so I'm not surprised that they can win rounds in a blaze of glory in the same way that FURIA can lose them. And this allows FURIA to maintain their 2 ops, most importantly.
I don't remember a round where we've had Art inside of Secret.
That's true. He's avoided everything except for the basic spot as much as possible.
Could be a good time to pull it out. I mean, you see the smoke sailing over. They've been a consistency in Team Liquid's outside situation. So he throws one of his own. Ooh, what?
Oh my God.
Hold on. This is looking peculiar. Tough spot for Art to be in. He's not dead yet. Ah, there it is. Stewie. Clean headshot. Twist is going to start applying pressure with utility out through Squeaky Door. Stu trades as they try and force their way through main. Low HP for the remaining members. Case Serato can't do it all. He's going to have to leave Henny to clutch. Low health for both of these two players.
16-7 right now for Naf. He's having a game for himself. Wow, I didn't even realize Henny was there on the angle. Reads that perfectly. Naf is out. Trades go down pretty well considering the fact that they lost, I think it's Henny to close out 2 1v1s already at this point, and they did well to kill Art on top of that really early on. And I just wanted to say about Art, you know, when you play as unpredictably as him, you know, when you play as unorthodox a style of Counter-Strike as he does, the predictable positions become unpredictable all of a sudden. And that creates value for teams, for your team, in a way that you can't often quantify, but you'll see it affect decision-making, how teams look between 2 angles, a lot of intangibles that have a knock-on effect in the rounds. And I think that's, you know, his real value is that if you're scared of every single position, you're either going to run out of time or not be confident in the angles you hold. And I think Art does a great job of kind of drawing out that fear in his opponents.
Of course, as we hit round 14, we've got Team Liquid holding off on the bye. So this is a good chance for FURIA to try and close this half with 6. They get aggressive over towards ramp. Case Serato going to come out on top of that one. What's left of Team Liquid is going to have to try and cross outdoors, and Henny's got that scope at a distance. Should be safer than he could ask for, but no, only gets the 1. Team Liquid down inside of the vents, and hey, they've found Vinny. Not a bomb site, not a plant, but at least something to write home about.
Just a young Italian man.
I just have this Italian voice in my head every time you make that joke.
I can't
not
get
gonna
over
pan
it.
out. Art runs down. He's had enough. He wants to close this one as quick as he likes to play, which works out in the end. 2 casualties with Art and Vinny falling, but so be it. It's the 15th and final round of the first half. FURIA guns a-blazing here as we come into their potential 6th.
Who's the money on for this last round of the half? Who do you think's going to win?
I'm going to say FURIA because, you know, they've started to piece this one together. We've got Art doing things like playing in secret, and I just want a close map.
Sure, yeah. After that last one, yeah, FURIA still don't seem to have control of things just yet. Art on his little M4 Asimov. Can't be quite as aggressive as he'd like. I'm sure he'll find a way at some point in the rounds. For the meantime, standard state of affairs. And where are most of the T's here? It looks like they're in and waiting for ramp. So flash comes out. Case Serato up to bat.
Nice. He's got the corner held tight. That's 2 heads, potentially a 3rd. Does great damage, but can't quite finish it. Yuri Wilf with the nade. Nitro and a Liege. What are you made of? Well,
Mostly a Liege.
big old bag of a Liege here.
Just a bag of pure IQ. High IQ gaming. Boy genius Elige. StarCraft prodigy. Hates being called that, but I'm still going to call him that.
Come on, tap him.
Oh. But now he's not going to think about his close right, is he?
Unless he does it while the molly burns. Now's his chance. He's going to make a move. It's got to be here. And he tries to check, but Art a little bit further out on the angle, seals that one. And yes, sir, FURIA keep this as close as they could. 6 rounds on their defense. They'll swap on over, and we'll be back after the break. The end of the half goes to FURIA, but the entirety of the start was all Liquid all day. They're already leading by one map in this series, and after a loss versus Chaos in a 1-2 fashion, you know they want to close versus what has been one of the most promising online rosters in North America, FURIA, fumbling so far. But there is still most certainly a chance. They've switched over to where they can set the pace, and that right there, Mohan, is why I kind of believe in this second half.
Yeah, sure. You know that they're painfully aware of the fact that they could lose at any time. It's probably a gift and a curse. It's a curse because it hurts your confidence, but it's a gift because you'll never fall asleep at the wheel. So hopefully Liquid, pull out all the stops in this half and close out a series just for the sake of their mental health, honestly. Don't be a loser. On round 6, Yuri had 3650 spare and no kit as he attempted the 1v1 retake. Very interesting. There was a chance there that he could have been able to pull out the fuse in a Molotov.
AZS
had a
calling him out, man.
Yeah.
That's a call out. Called out North yesterday. Compared all of their compared all their damage of North to the grenades of Astralis. That's been my favorite stat so far.
That was a funny one. That was a good one. That had me rolling.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely a gut punch, but it was so well presented that they don't even know it.
What was the exact stat that
it was something of
all
like
of North had as much damage as 2 players ADR? As much 2 players nade damage?
Yes, that's it.
We're butchering this. It's okay. Go back, watch the VOD. Those are available.
Yeah, if you missed it, it's your fault. No. Actually, yeah. What were you doing? Where were you?
Mm-hmm.
I know you are now if you're tuning in, of course. This is day 2. No, this is day 3. Day 3 of DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. 1 North American best of 3 per day. This matchup was highly anticipated personally. We get MIBR versus Chaos tomorrow. Will Chaos go 2-0 in their group? Well, we'll see. Same place, same time.
I love that. Seeing a team play well or playing badly, but then seeing some spots of brilliance or, reasons why you should be doubtful, and then seeing them play against the other teams in the same position in the same tournament. I think that's super fun to watch the development of these rosters. Most recent results are the most important. So, seeing them play in days in succession, I think tells us a lot.
At a very digestible rate as well. 1 North American BO3. If you love NACS, you know where to meet us. We'll be here waiting for you. But right now, it's Liquid waiting on the A site. Yeah. Dropping into the vent, they will find Elige. Poor man gets smothered by the sheer aggression of FURIA. Shouldn't be much of a surprise. They're able to bomb plant inside of the smoke. K Serato has the cover for now. A little CZ play in the pistol here from Stu. Doesn't get the shots he'd hoped for, so Nitro's going to have to come in from the secret flank, and he is trying to duel here, but he needs to get around the corner, and that's when he puts himself into a perplexed situation. So many crossfires that he's walking right into. Naf able to trade 1, Twist gets onto the kill feed 2. We're 3 versus 3. This is huge. Stewie closing that distance. Vinny, he's already not caught him, and so he's been spotted too by the control window. It all is on Naf. And they laugh as FURIA take the second pistol.
And we see why vent is so hard to deal with and so important. They did have a player in the vent waiting for that push, but him not getting a kill means that retake just goes from bad to worse. Elige sitting there on the angle, totally anticipating this kind of play, but they can't stop it. So now that FURIA are playing the role that they want the most, to play the T side and play it like a T side. We'll see if they can stage this comeback. 2 rounds of difference as they turn their aggression out towards upstairs once again.
Yeah, already down vent. This time just 1 player, not the entire team. in their entirety. They will instead move over towards ramp. There's a player tucked, though, very close. Be cautious. It's Naf with a deagle. They jump around it, and Yuri does them dirty. Man advantage here for Furia, but there's a casualty. Twist has gotten a kill and his hands on a MAC-10. He's giving chase, though, to Caesarado, who finds a Liege by surprise and almost doubles up. Bombs planted, still with one man over top of Liquid. Look at Twist go. He's going to fall back through Secret. They've got stuff worth saving.
Yeah. Stewie already called it a day when Naflight didn't get his kill on the ramp. That could have changed things up. They don't go ahead and go for the third kill, but it looks like Furia go for another fight, so maybe there's a chance here for them to get it. Nice damage dealt. In danger of dying to the bomb, of course, at a low HP, so going to try to move slightly. Actually wonder there. Kind of closer, but on top of the bomb. Is he in a safe position?
Boom.
It's a bit low. It's totally... Wow, not a single point of damage. I thought even back box you take some slight damage, but maybe I'm mistaken. So now there's only one round to go here for Fury to catch up and cement their position in this half. Got a good economy because only the 2 kills that went down that last round. Recycled guns here for Liquid, Scout and MAC-10. A couple of nades to work with. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any grand master plan. Furia just going to go back to some vent tactics. And the flashes are so good. Caesarado getting down there every single time. And once it's compromised, they can perform this kind of lobster pinch onto ramp and really hurt downstairs.
Scout shots attempted by Stewie. Not going to come away with too much. Twist. It's a good MAC-10 spam. Poor Vinny takes one between the eyes. Now, Art's isolated over here in lobby, so this would be a huge kill for them to pick up, and Nitro does so with the help of a Liege, so that's a rifle. And now what? Bomb's down. You know the odds are you've lost this. That AK definitely has to be saved, so get that one out of dodge. And Naf's dead too. So they've got an exit route. Twists with a MAC-10. I mean, his life's still expendable, so go for the exits. Try to rack up some damage versus your opponents, because all of a sudden, Furia have tied this game at 9 rounds apiece. And what they're doing right now is essentially what Liquid did in their first half. Just a very strong, early, successful T-side off of the back of a pistol round win.
I love that they're not second-guessing themselves. Again, Furia know exactly who they are, and that might be their strongest attribute. They get that vent drop, and you realize, like, if you think about this, the only other rotation that's quick is the ramp player. On this anti-eco, no one's playing outside, and if they are, you can still beat them down, but the thought of someone going secret is your least concern, and your vent player is totally safe for that point to lurk or whatever. So if you pinch on the ramp and you put pressure there, plus no one can actually drop down the vents, why wouldn't you want to try to take downstairs? And I think the fact that they are playing off these protocols so quickly just makes a ton of sense. Very pragmatic way to approach the game, and is totally conducive to their extremely fast-paced playstyle.
Twist very close to a looming threat.
They're not watching the Squeaky.
Oh, seems like Art's already out there. He's going to start trying to wrap around Hut. That walks right into Nap, and that welcomes them into the MAC-10. 2 kills for Twist. That is huge. He drops the bomb, and in the first gun round for Liquid, they catch Furia. Furia allowed to come out onto the A site, almost invited into the lion's den, because Nap had that passive off angle, and Twist finds him by surprise with his little SMG.
Yeah, I guess it was just kind of scorched earth there, as Nafly was like, yeah, you can feel comfy. Come on out into my crosshairs, catching the Art from Lurk. And if you're catching the Lurk from Art, and if you're Furia, why wouldn't you jump on an opportunity like that? No one's in mini. No one's putting pressure on Squeaky. That's a great chance to try to initiate. And there's a chance, obviously, that Art also can, one-tap the heaven or get another kill, or just Naf misses, and then they're still on. But Liquid ran the risk. They were fine with it, and I think they had a superior setup. Also, Twitch should probably not get 2 kills with a MAC-10 versus the full buy, but that's going to happen too sometimes.
Every once in a while. MAC-10's such a fun gun.
It really is. Super fast. You definitely want to jump and shoot as much as possible. Never stop holding W.
We're in an exciting place when it comes to Counter-Strike SMGs. I mean, MAC-10 and MP9, always been viable for the last little while. You know, there was the MP7 phase, but that armor penetration was kind of dealt with. Still a very strong weapon. We're no longer seeing the ump as much as we used to, but even yesterday and the day before, I've seen a couple sprinkled in. The real surprise, the exclamation mark, is when the hell did the PP Bison become worth buying?
Yeah, that's a strange one. 64 bullets, I think it was waiting to see the light of day. And there was a couple players trying to champion it through all the difficult times. But, yeah, I don't know.
Alas, right back in with another buy. Mac 10 denied any entry to the vent.
Yep.
If we can say anything about Furia so far, it's consistently trying to get towards Squeaky.
And listen, good teams, even if you know they're going to do it, can get players down there with the correct utility. But this time, you know, Liquid overemphasized making sure they had line of sight on top of all the grenades. Was that him outside of Squeaky or inside in the vent? I wonder if he was
I see
running forward or not.
inside, but I didn't see a wall bang, so I feel like his corpse probably just fell down. Hold on, I'm in game. I'll check.
It's art, so it's hard to say if he's lurking or if he's actually jumping down.
Yep, I found a dead body down there.
Okay. Maybe in his dying moments, he got to see what it looked like down there.
Very sprawled out. Big peek from Nitro. Surprised he even gets one there. There's 3 bodies ready for him. It's a good pinch out from Yuri, though. Very crucial kill for him to come in on the split. They are still outnumbered 2-3. Henny is not going to be covered on the plant. He could have so easily died to the mini peek, but Elige comes out a second late, and he falls instead. A follow-up from Yuri. That is huge. It looked like Liquid had it on lock, but it's all taken away.
Elige kind of let him get the bomb off, but he didn't know if it was a backside plant or not. So didn't want to try to fall for the fake, but it was the worst of both worlds. Furia both got the bomb down, and the bomb planter was able to take a fight. You know, obviously, the huge advantage there, obviously, is that someone's got their hands busy, leaving it in a 1v3 in the moments that you're trying to plant the bomb. And that's when the CTs can try to make some kind of positional move to support their retake. But Naf drops a shot early, I think. Don't know how hard it was, if he even really had a chance. And a couple of pretty damning trades that didn't go their way. Of course, this one being the most egregious. Oh, and Henny using all of his bullets as well.
That was, I would say, the turning point, because if not, then suddenly Yuri dies. Maybe he gets the kill on lobby still, but he would have found himself 1v2. So that's one of those rounds that serves as a prime example that this game boils down to millimeters and milliseconds. It's a beautiful beast. Lots of bodies outside here, just walking along mini, and Elige, he's let them slip in. Oh no, Twist's back turn. Caught by surprise. Here's Nitro backside, trying to lock on Hut while he can. Yuri clears outdoors, and this is just spelling disaster for Nitro. The T's coming in from every which direction. Naf's isolated down in vents, and Stewie's flank could be predicted. You can see the damage that they did versus Furia, but that's a plant and a round regardless. 11-10.
Yeah, they're trying upstairs over and over again. It's getting better kind of every single time. A couple of missteps there from Team Liquid. The nade that doesn't land inside the hut. A opportunity dropped from a couple of players. Art sneaking his way into mini. We know that's going to happen. It's hard to even get mad at your team for letting it happen, because he's a tricky one. He's creative. But this time the approach comes two-pronged attack from the mini as well, on top of all of their hut presence like they normally do.
Stewie? Oh, okay, he's fine. I too, Mohan, was fooled again by the damage through walls.
The radius, yeah.
Yes, there is a bomb about 20 feet from you. I suppose the wall. You know, this is a nuclear reactor at the end of the day. Probably designed to contain explosions. You'd hope.
You'd hope, for sure. Wouldn't want to lose Nuke. Good map.
Mirage on the other end.
No,
Hot take.
This war on Mirage. It's a war on Mirage.
All right, listen, we've got guns aplenty yet again. We've got a little more outer yard play from Yuri. They should not be able to slip through mini a second time. Kind of write that off as an anomaly, but still the offer in Naf lets one pass, but does get the 5v4. That's good. inside of Hut, though. Art incredibly close. Twist has to back up, and that gives
He
him the chance
walked
to
out.
come out.
Oh my god, I can't believe he did that so seamlessly.
And Nitro's going to have to reload before he can peek around. Twist gets the gap through it, but another body just comes fumbling out, and this time it's successful. Nitro is still back here, but he should have been called. Good thing he can hold the line on his own for now. There's another player in from Heaven that's already been removed, so Nitro, his closest rotator's down. Nap still up there. Oh, what? The whip around from Vinny? And a molly to go burn Naf's feet. Drops him slightly to 65. A single bullet clears out Nitro close. Oh ho ho, but Vinny's got the bomb.
Yeah, no, this is totally winnable. I mean, Nitro's dead meat at this point. It's going to be hard for him to try to find the kill. This is definitely winnable by Tricky Vinny. He's got a chance here. Bomb goes down left corner of the site. Rotation comes in to try to catch the fallback, but Naf doesn't want to play it too risky. He's got to wait. Oh, there it is. There's a small chance. He definitely, if Vinny got to a safe spot without getting covered, he obviously could have won very easily.
And Vinny also had the crosshair placed where Naf comes in for the peek, but Naf wasted no time. The moment that squeaky door down on B swung open, you saw Naf leave Heaven and sprint towards ramp.
Look right here. After Nafli took a shot, Yuri started walking forward. He was going to maybe like go into Big Garage or something. Naf's like, how dare you stay there?
Yeah, get back in your secret hole.
Was that a nasty shot from Naf?
Which one, the third?
Did you see that last kill? I feel like it was a crazy flick upward that I just saw, but maybe my eyes
weren't looking.
Yeah, either way.
Happens. Whoop.
Why is there a duel here?
This is big aggression. Big energy from Liquid outside, and look at Furia. They're going to see that as an open door towards ramp, and unarguably exactly that. Nobody there to hold them. Naf's going to do some damage versus Art as he skims the shot through the wall, but hey, they head downstairs. And Nitro, ready and waiting. A little bit of chip damage versus Henny as he calls his teammates to come collect themselves on the defense. This is going to be the 4v4 retake.
I've got a decent kit to try to retake in this situation, but well, they know Henny's pushed up this far aggressive.
It's tucked in. He hears the footsteps coming forward. Twist gets one kill over his shoulder, but he drops both bodies. Favorable trade here to the favor of Furia. Naf's going to try to come and get him, but he too toppled. Henny with a 3K in the post plant, and Furia back with the 1-round lead.
All off of one trade there. And again, this flowchart from Furia stands strong. They believe in the call. Immediately after getting the kill outside, they decide to launch it into ramp and put a ton of pressure on the lower site. And it's just too much aggression for Liquid to handle, it seems. They're still a bit unprepared, not expecting, Henny to be in that spot with somebody directly behind him. And it's also Elise should not win the trade outside when he pushed out and had, a couple seconds to do it. They both fluffed part of their spray, don't get me wrong, but obviously was critical that Elise pulls it off. And Furia, just like that, bingo, bango, bongo in the lead.
Ay-yoy. Nice shot by Art.
It feels
he
like
literally just got in that position.
It feels like Liquid's aim was so much better in the first half.
Whoa, timing, unfortunate there. Favors Vinny most certainly. Twist tries to come into the deagle. Elige also rattling the big rounds downtown. But so far, unsuccessful here for Liquid. Furia, great anti-eco. Circumventing threats, navigating the treacherous waters that can be Liquid. Another op shot to really seal the deal here. So this is 13 for Furia, 11 Liquid. They are still on the CT side of Nuke, but that economy played against them this round. So they're going to have to come back in with a bolstered buy and then shut down this show that Furia has been giving us.
We just know how comfortable they are. And Furia can do a little bit more of what's working. Even the rounds they lose when they go upstairs come close, which is a great sign, I think. Staying even numbers all the way down to just a couple of players is always nice for the T side. They're happy to play 2v2 retakes whenever they can take them. Players on half HP after all the chaos that comes out of their pushes. I think these are all things that they are more than happy to indulge in. So for Liquid, I mean, they've really just got to bite their lip and look at the fact that they have these opportunities, and there's going to be very small margins versus these fast rushes that are going to shut it down. But I think more than anything, they really just got to focus on their aim. You know, they know they're going to get these trades. The opportunities will come, but can they win them? Twist only got his 9th and 10th Mac kill of his career.
Damn.
His life?
Hazy asks, where are you digging these things out of, man? How deep in the stat pages of HLTV do you have to find yourself for that one?
How do you find that? I don't even know.
You, friend. You've
or to think to look for it. That's crazy. That's crazy. What was he using?
I don't know.
Was he umping around?
Does he have a okay, I'm curious. You're gonna have to follow this up. You've piqued our interest. Does he have more kills with another SMG, or is he just not buying SMGs? We'll have to get that answer after this round, because it's a crucial one. This is a big turning point, perhaps, for Liquid, if they can reestablish a strong defensive side. If not, FURIA 14, and the money's in question yet again. Quick trades. Double wallbang headshot exchange. Wild round. Another quick pinch in from Mini. That one's going to catch Elige, but Nitro on the back of the site. He has held this one well, and wow, Henny in with more kills, but Stewie puts a stop to that. Liquid back within one.
Bit scary, especially to lose Twist, who has been pretty lights out. You know, more so in the first half, amounting a lot of kills there, but you know, still very important. And then, man, Henny's been great. I love how good he is with the rifles too.
I think that the nature of that round, I mean, those trades, 2 kills being exchanged back and forth at the start of it, like those trade frags were so fast, it could have gone either way. The player inside of Mini, he gets shot in the back just a moment later, but Naf's going to give them no moment to breathe. They try to throw up that wall of smokes, and he is in here. 24 kills to his name, and a player real close. Vinny trying to catch him. Naf!
Oh, no way!
Just skewers him.
Bet he didn't even blink. The balls on this kid.
Oh, and because of the kill feed, it's an official. No scope. No need. However, bombs behind him. Oh, he just gives it away. We're right back into the even keel. Another backstab. Liquid starting to fall apart at the seams. An attempt for Twist here. Lots of damage versus Art, but he doesn't want to get too tunnel visioned on this single kill because there are most certainly more players near. He falls to 44 because of the utility and has to call for Stewie to try and help him out. Stewie's going to come in from Mini, announcing himself with a flashbang, getting into the gunfight and losing it. Twist continues with the damage, but they just can't stop this show. FURIA 14 as they get the best of Naf after a nasty no-scope.
Wow, I think, you know, Naf was so adamant about trying to get back up here because he thought they're going to give him the respect of not trying secret or faking in the first place, and was literally trying to call it their strat by catching the push into Mini. Maybe he thought that was happening, so he was just trying to be as impactful as possible. Meanwhile, they were just lurking. 10 kills in the last 6 months. Okay, that's still kind of interesting. He's taking a hiatus from the Mac 10.
Man, not only we have fun facts, but now we're going to need a fun fact checker.
Fun fact checker, oh, man. Soon there'll be a website. Let's get political.
Too funny.
Wow.
I was like, man, that would have been okay. That's funny. I appreciate
they look at this, man. They're buying and they have like nothing.
Yeah. Sorry, let's get refocused on what really matters here at hand. Great grenade. Good bit of softening damage. Twist and Nitro really trying to pick up the pace here. That's a crucial kill from Elige over towards ramp, but he's lost the other side of this hit. Great grenade. The utility's looking good for Team Liquid, but can they piece together what they need now? 3 of these players on FURIA all tagged.
Look at the activity.
Back in with another. Dude, he's hitting them from every direction, every possible position, with everything he's got. This round's up in the air. Health advantage favors Liquid
he's
most
gonna lurk.
certainly, but yeah, Naf's making so much noise. He's done it again. This is the exact same situation nearly as last round, where he pops off, gives us something to talk about, and then just dies while he's stampeding around like a bull in a china shop.
He's supposed to even know that Art got that far, you know? Like he's once again, he's like, I've made so much presence. There's no way that somebody's still here. And then, of course, this Art has already walked. I didn't even see him get to hell.
Sends him packing, but don't write off a Liege. Ooh, or should you? Case Dorado, crisp headshot, gets Furia 15. You're right, though. Naf doing so much and kind of keeping eyes outdoors. It was during all the time of him changing position from outer to back up into heaven, etc., that Art does close that gap. You know, and he kind of looks like a fool from our perspective, but remember, 1 second later, just 1 second more, and he's got the cover of ramp to run away.
It's insane. It just never stops. Yeah.
Gap in the smoke. See if Naf can make magic happen. 26 kills already. 2 scouts, 2 MP9s, and a full build of utility for a Liege. Furia have secured overtime at the least, looking to take this series to a third. We've got a deep smoke here to try and get some pressure onto Mini. Art's trying to close that gap towards Hell, and that's a big frag for Twist. He gets the only player indoors. Whoa. Naf just running out in the... Okay, is there an excuse for that one?
I don't know. I don't know what he was doing there. I have no idea.
Like, man, I'm trying to defend you, dude, but...
I don't know.
Oh, man. All right. Unfortunate. Comes out. I mean, to be fair, Furia did fall silent. It looked like they were going to try to charge right through it. Then they stopped. You know, they've got Team Liquid second guessing themselves. Tension blankets the map, however. 25 seconds left over. Stewie's going to have to stop this. Finds the first player turned. And now this is going to force Furia's hand down to the B bomb site. 15 seconds to plant. Sure, they should get this off unless Elige has something to say with the Deeg. He's going to jump to the window. Has to deal with the player up on the rafters first and foremost. Bomb has been planted. They try to rush the issue. Vinny, he's good for 2 kills, and Henny's going to have to clutch this, finding the first. Can he get Elige? No, sir. 48 health for the Boy Wonder, as we have Team Liquid getting their 13th.
So awkward. He had to reload and stay in the door. Is waiting for his opponent to fall back and maybe just sit there and peek or move. Oh my god. What the hell was that? They almost all got mowed down in decon. Could have obviously... I mean, there's just so many kills. They're like, what the hell? Both ways. I guess he had a smoke in front of him.
Yeah. He wanted the AK, and that was the only peek other than Garage that could have killed him.
So the gun...
Sorry, I was just gonna say the worst thing about it too is like he picked up the AK. He was half a second away from being ready for that peek. So it looks worse before we see his perspective.
Yeah, always does, right?
Yeah, of course.
Only one of Furia's CT rounds this series has come with a defuse. Wow.
Really playing into the narrative of this team does not like
post-plant situations.
They'd rather die first, man. With some of those vertigo plays, we saw them running through A smokes. They'd rather die than get a bomb plant. Yeah. Guys, we either work on our post plants or just never let it happen.
Never let it happen.
Look, they've cut their practice time in half.
Yeah, that's true. And double down on that other half.
All right. This one's going the distance, it seems. It'd help if Elige can get some kills outside to start it off. It's a dangerous game playing secret like this. You know, there's so much info to gain. The further you step, the more you have in your back pocket. But the moment that head pops up on a silver platter, solid utility usage here. That's going to draw the eyes of Naf, and Elige finds timing. That's huge for Liquid. 5 versus 4, but it's turned back. Art, yet again, always so close to Naf.
That's brutal. And here, they've got to be a full alert for the lurks. Oh, Stewie ends up getting a kill. Double push in. They're going to hear somebody running outside. Well, they know that there's also one ramp. Stewie does.
Yep. And Twist finds Case Dorado. That's the bomb thrown into the front of 2 CTs. They smoke off the player that Stewie had confirmed. So the last one has to run through it. And that is it. 30 rounds of Counter-Strike or more here on Nuke.
And they did. FURIA spent all their money, just like Liquid did for the 2 rounds in a row, until they won. Doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. Anybody could still win this game. Of course, these rounds are so unorthodox. It really does feel like watching Fnatic versus someone where the other team is forced to play their game, and that's what makes it so annoying, I think. But again, because Liquid, I think, have so much experience versus them, this is not a stranger to them. And I think they also respect the fact that, like Alish said, it would be different if they played differently online or on LAN, but they know that FURIA, they do this exact same thing on LAN as well.
Stewie deleted by Art. Finally, not found outside, but rather on the entry towards ramp. Remember, this was with little to work with. Art, that 1 AK is all they seem to have needed because they have punctured through to the B bomb site. Nitro sent spiraling down the vents. He's got a teammate right by his side. This is a double man disadvantage. Great flashbang. Now they're starting to fill the kill feed, but Yuri with the double. That's huge. Him and Art really making it happen. Nap, all that's left now, tries to duel with the players towards ramp, and FURIA do it. 16-14. It took the entirety of map 2, but they extend this series, and that means that we are heading to Mirage. We'll have the analysts before that map starts, but folks, don't go anywhere. We've got a hell of a BO3 on our hands.